Hi, I'm Annika from iDoc, and in this video I'll show you how you can easily fix your broken Galaxy S22 Ultra yourself. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your great support and trust in this channel. However, our statistics show that 98% of you have not subscribed yet. If the same goes for you, we would be very happy if you make up for it at this point. With your subscription, you will not only support our channel, but also won't miss any of our new videos. Replacing the camera lenses is moderately difficult. The motherboard has to be removed beforehand. Plan about 45 to 60 minutes for the repair. You will need the following tools. In addition, these tools can be helpful as well. You can find all tools for this repair, as well as an original camera lens for your Galaxy S22 Ultra, in our online store at idoc.eu/en. We've put the links in the info box. Don't forget to switch off your S22 Ultra before the repair to avoid a potential short circuit. To do so, press down the function and silent key simultaneously for a few seconds. To open the smartphone, you first have to warm up the heavily glued back cover. To do so, run a heat gun or a normal hairdryer evenly over the back cover's edge for a few minutes. Be careful not to burn your fingers on the heated case and back cover. Once the back cover is sufficiently heated, place a suction cup on its bottom edge and pull it upwards. This way you will create a narrow gap between the back cover and the screen unit. At the same time, insert a flat pick into the gap. If you have difficulties inserting the pick, the iFlex can help with the first insertion. It is made of thin metal and is particularly easy to insert due to its sharp edges. However, you should switch back to a plastic tool as soon as possible to avoid scratching anything. As an alternative to the suction cup, we can recommend the ice clack. Thanks to its leverage, you don't have to use as much force to lift the back cover upwards. Once the beginning is made, detach the back cover piece by piece from the rest of the case with your tool. To make it easier for you to remove the back cover, you can always warm up its edge in between. Leave flat picks in the loosened areas so that the glue cannot bond again. We recommend using a hard plastic pick around the camera module. Due to its rounded corners, you can't insert it too deep and don't run the risk of damaging the sensitive camera lenses. Once the back cover is fully detached, you can remove the suction cup and picks and take it off. Here you can see the adhesive frame that was used to attach the back cover. In the next step, remove the charging coil. Its lower end is glued to the speaker. Its upper end is a metal cover that is screwed onto the motherboard. Carefully separate its two connectors from the motherboard with a spatula. Then unscrew the 5 Phillips screws that fix the metal cover over the motherboard. To avoid losing the small screws, we recommend using a magnetic pad. Flip the detached metal cover upwards and pull the lower glued end of the charging coil off the speaker. Put the detached coil aside. Now the battery is exposed and you can disconnect it. Always disconnect the battery as early as possible to avoid a short circuit. Small parts on the motherboard can easily be damaged, so make sure that you lever from a free side if possible. Before you can remove the motherboard, you have to take off the plastic cover above it. Separate the connector of the cover from the motherboard. Then loosen its 3 screws and take it out of the device. In the next step, remove the motherboard. Start by separating the remaining connectors from it. These belong to the S Pen and the front camera, the screen cable, as well as the two connecting cables. Unscrew the single Phillips screw that holds the board in place. After that, you can already take it out of your device. Be careful not to damage the still connected camera module or the flex cables of the connectors. Hold them aside if necessary. The camera module consists of one wide angle, one ultra wide angle, and two telephoto lenses. The connectors are attached to the back of the motherboard. In the first step, separate the connectors of the ultra wide angle, and small telephoto lens. Then unscrew the single Phillips screw that holds the camera module in place. Once the lenses are detached from the board, release the small telephoto lens from its hook. The ultra-wide-angle lens is glued into the housing of the wide-angle lens. To be able to detach it, you should first heat it up. Once the glue has liquefied a bit, use tweezers to carefully pry it out. Depending on which camera lens is broken, you will now have to replace either the wide-angle or ultra-wide-angle lens. You can find an original camera lens for your Galaxy S22 Ultra, as well as the appropriate tools for this repair, in our online store at idoc.eu/en. Whether it is a wide-angle or ultra-wide-angle lens, before you install it, you have to remove all protective films first. Then either put the new ultra-wide-angle lens into the housing of the old wide-angle lens, or vice versa. The remaining glue should be enough to securely reattach it. Once the ultra-wide-angle lens is properly seated in the housing, you can hook up the telephoto lens again. As soon as the three camera lenses are connected, you can attach them to the board. First align them and screw them to the second telephoto lens. Then attach the three connectors to the back of the motherboard. You should hear and feel them click into place. Be especially careful when attaching connectors, and never press them down with force. A damaged connector can lead to the failure of an entire component. Now put the motherboard together with the connected camera module back into the screen unit. Be careful not to damage the camera or pinch any connectors or flex cables. If the board sits evenly everywhere, you can screw it in place. Then carefully press down the connectors again. You should be able to hear and feel them click into place. At this point, do not connect the battery yet to avoid a short circuit. Replace the board cover. Its small lugs must audibly and noticeably snap into the case frame. If it doesn't, the motherboard may not sit completely flat. Screw it in with 3 Phillips screws. Then reattach its connector to the board. Connect the battery again at this point. You should always connect the battery as late as possible to avoid a short circuit. Reattach the charging coil. Align it with the help of the screw holes and press its glued end tight. Then screw the metal cover back onto the motherboard. Finally, press down the connectors of the charging coil and NFC antenna. Before you finally close your S22 Ultra again, we recommend testing the new camera lens at this point. Turn on your device for this purpose. Then open the camera app and change the mode. Alternatively, you can also open the Samsung test menu and check the camera as well as other basic functions there. Our checklist helps you to keep an overview during testing. We link it to you in the info box. If something does not work properly, check again if all components are connected and screwed correctly. If everything is okay, you can reattach the back cover. If the adhesive frame is still in good condition, you can simply reuse it. If it has defects or no longer sticks properly, you should remove it and attach a new one. Align the new adhesive frame with the back cover. The cutouts in the film will help you. Remove the carrier film of the adhesive frame and press it along the edge of the back cover. You can use a spatula, for example, to help you do this. If the adhesive frame fits correctly, remove the remaining protective film. Now reattach the back cover over the screen unit. Press it firmly along the frame so that it sits evenly everywhere. To ensure that the glue bonds properly, heat up the edge of the back cover for a few minutes and then weigh it down with a few books. You did it! The camera of your Galaxy S22 Ultra now works like new again. I hope the repair of your Galaxy S22 Ultra was successful. If this tutorial helped you, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. See you next time! You can find high-quality tools, spare parts, and accessories for your smartphone repair in our store, iDoc. Everything for your smartphone. Find more repair guides and other helpful videos here.